Hi everyone, Vicky here. I'm really sorry about the video this week. For some reason our internet's being really rubbish. So if I'm kind of moving very slowly or talking very slowly, I can only apologise. I don't know what's going on with it. Um, so the week, what have I been up to? The book is doing really well, doing lots of stuff behind the scenes at the moment. So I think the girls are all kind of sitting around twiddling their thumbs a little bit this week. Um, but really exciting, we've got a yarn sponsor called Stylecraft who are going to be sponsoring the UK knitters that we've got this year. So that's fantastic, British yarn brand. Um, what else? What else? Oh, I had a really lovely interview with Joanna from the Knittographer blog. So that's been posted up. If you get a chance, have a little look at her blog. What else? Goodness, it's just been a really kind of working on the computer, behind the scenes kind of week this week. There was a quite an interesting thing though that I was thinking about yesterday, and we were kind of chatting about it a little bit on the Facebook page. And one of Joanna's followers actually had read the interview and had kind of tweeted on Twitter, obviously, and said some really nice things. And my usual response when people buy a pattern, because she'd seen one of the patterns and bought it from our site, and I usually say to people, thanks obviously for buying the pattern, and send me a picture. I'd love to see what you do with it. And obviously with Twitter, you can't write that much, so I always wonder if it comes across quite the way I intend it. But also Ruth, fantastic, one of our fashionistas on Facebook. She knitted a couple of versions of the Aztec hardy on her Pass app. And for those of you who are not machine knitters, Pass app machines have less needles than some of the other domestic machines. So a lot of the time Pass app knitters have to kind of adjust patterns anyway. So she'd made a few little kind of tweaks and things, and had made a couple of them for her daughters. And she changed a few colours, obviously chatting to the daughters what you want and that kind of stuff. So she'd done some really nice colour combinations. But she posted it on her own page. She has her own Facebook page for Pass Up Knitters. And obviously I saw it on there because I'm one of her followers as well. And she hadn't posted it on the Twisted page. And I mean, quite possibly she might have done. I probably got in there a little bit quicker than she did and kind of shared it with my page. But it did kind of get me thinking about people who buy a designer pattern from people, and whether they obviously, you take the pattern, and generally a lot of people are going to adjust it. You're a different size, maybe you're a bit shorter in the body, or longer arms, shorter arms, that kind of stuff. But I'm kind of, it's a really difficult topic to kind of broach, I suppose. From when does it become you've bought a pattern and you've manipulated it so much that it's no longer the original pattern that you bought? And do people, would you kind of post the image on that person's website and go, look what I've done with your pattern? And would the designer find that incredibly flattering, or would they be a little bit offended that you'd taken something that they'd done and completely changed it? And it was an interesting little debate that we were kind of chatting about yesterday. And I mean, my point of view, I come from a fashion background, so my thing is, there's not that many original things, in the world anymore. It's people are always redoing things, reworking stuff, pinching ideas from here, there, and everywhere, and kind of putting them together. And the nature of retail, especially, you're always looking at the catwalks. If when I'm designing knitwear for a retail store, um, you know, the buyers are always coming to you and they're saying, oh, I really liked Anna Sui's cardigan, or I really liked this jumper, or I really like this, can we do some versions of it? And you've got to be really careful as a designer in that kind of sense, that you're not copying, you know, what's been on the catwalk. You're looking at the picture, you're looking at the essence of it, and you're kind of redoing it for a high street and for that kind of shopper, for their customer, their price point, you know, all these different things. But obviously with the kind of patterns, the online patterns, I try and encourage people. I mean, this is my personal view. Obviously, I know, I do know a few people who are very precious about their designs, and they get a little bit offended when people start fiddling about with it. But I encourage people to post pictures. I'd love to see what people are doing with the things that I design. Because, you know, to me, you go in and you buy a jumper, for example, from a shop, and your friend buys the same one. It's never going to look the same on both people. You know, one friend is going to wear some high heels or a skirt with it. The other one's going to wear jeans and trainers, you know, whatever it is. How you style the same thing makes it look completely different. So we do it, you know, it's in our nature to kind of personalize everything we have anyway. So I don't mind. You know, if people were kind of taking it and, you know, trying some new stuff, moving the graphics around if it was something like that, or changing it up, adding a colour in, putting it on a different shape. I'd love to see all that kind of stuff. It is really the essence of fashion and style. We were also talking yesterday. One of the girls, Ruth, was telling me about a forum where someone had posted a question, in that she had seen this pattern, had bought it, and was asking whether it was acceptable to rework it and pass it off as her own. Now, that I don't think that's right. I don't think you can take something that you've bought and resell it as your own idea. That, in legal terms, is plagiarism, fraud, and copyright infringement. And that designer would be well within her rights to sue whatever person that was. Can you always know? Not really. I mean, 10 years ago, it's probably longer than that now, I just finished my knitwear course, and at the end of every fashion course you do a kind of what's called an industry show. You present your portfolio and you present some of your best pieces of work, and the press come round and buyers come round. They're invited to all the shows, and the idea is that the buyers and stuff are looking for new talent to employ within their companies. And it was odd, we'd left for the summer, and a few months later we'd gone back, and me and a friend of mine were walking past, I'm not sure if I really should say the name, but a few people who know me will know who it is anyway, I guess. And it was a very long time ago, H&M. We were walking past, we thought we'd just pop in and see what was in there on our student money that we had. And my friend said to me, oh, this looks familiar. And I turned around and there was a t-shirt there, and it was something that I had in my portfolio. Can you stop it? No, not really. Would it be worth doing it? It really depends on how valuable that pattern is to you, I suppose. It would cost you a lot of money to kind of regain the rights to it. Is it right? Not really. But I suppose it really does depend on the level of what you're doing. I personally don't mind someone like Ruth, for example. She's got two daughters who both wanted a jumper. She got the pattern, firstly had to adapt it for the pass up anyway, which is, you know, more than fine. You can't physically knit it on a pass up, because of the amount of stitches you need. So she changes some colours, and you know, she changed a collar on it a little bit, and it was a bit thinner and stuff like that. I honestly don't mind. You know, you can see where it's come from. I know that that's my pattern, and she's kind of put her own little twist on things. Um, I find that incredibly flattering. I'd love to see what people are doing, even if it's the fact that they've, you know, you've taken something that you really like, even if it's not my design. You know, maybe you've looked at some of the catwalks, you've seen a picture in a magazine, something, you've tried to recreate it for yourself, put your own little kind of design details in there. I love to see all that, because essentially that is craft. That is a craft, and it's kind of what we do. So I don't know. It's a fine line, isn't it? But yeah, I suppose the whole point to the thing was, I personally, I don't mind, and I would love to see what you're doing with the patterns. I'd love to see you all, you know, nicely modelling your own little twists on the patterns and things. Even if you haven't, I'd still love to see, you know, your version of what I've done, because that's always nice. You know, people who buy patterns and stuff, that's all very lovely. It's not really until, you know, and obviously I very much appreciate all the people who part with money to actually buy my patterns. But the thing for me is seeing it. You know, that's the warming kind of element. That's the thing that makes you feel quite good, is seeing a picture of someone wearing it. Even with changes, that's fine, colour changes or whatever, is, yeah, to see it. So I would really, really love to see any of the stuff that you're doing at the moment from other people, from catwalks, maybe something you've done of mine. I would love to. Please come to our Facebook page and post all your pictures, and let everyone else see, because, you know, we can all share together then, and we're all kind of getting little tips and ideas from everyone else. We may as well do it together as a community. So so yeah, my little fashionistas, I can't wait to see all your lovely pictures and see what you've been up to. I suppose I'm going to get on with some more computer work and book pages and formatting files and some quite boring bits and pieces today. I hope you have a really good rest of the week, and I will see you very soon.